Hello, today we are meeting Max Spiers, a super soldier, and let's see what happens on the world now. Hello, Max.
Hi, how are you?
You are from Great Britain.
Yeah, I was born in Great Britain. I spent half of my life in the US, but I was born in Great Britain.
Okay, and yesterday during the project Earth, you explained that you were involved in oak tree project. You were one of the 42 children.
Not quite.
Not quite.
No. Project Oak Tree is a separate project which is to do with finding the mothers to house the children. The Project Oak Tree was about finding the mothers who had specific wombs that would be able to house the children who would be born in the 1970s, which is connected to, I'm going to say IBIS, but I don't know if it goes by that name, but it's a name that's been thrown around. I think it has other names too. And there are other parallel projects similar to this one too.
Okay, the word super soldier sounds like...
I don't like that.
You were involved in my lab. Is it true?
So it would depend how you would define the word my lab. Do you know what my lab means?
Okay, explain.
Military laboratory experiment. So a lot of the time when people think that they've been abducted by Greys or ETs, in fact, it's a military abduction instead, and they implant memories into your mind to make it seem as though you've been taken to Mars or taken to a ship, when in fact you've been in a DUM, which is an underground military base.
Okay, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's start from the topic of Mars. There is a place in Arizona where there's a special portal called Jump Room, where you can jump from Earth to Mars, and you did it. You were involved in some mission.
No, I don't know if it particularly in Arizona. I just have memories of going to Mars. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you remember?
Well, see, I don't remember it like that. Okay, I have two different specific memories. Okay, the first one involves me being in what was like a hotel room with a red carpet, and believe it or not, the current president of the United States was sitting cross-legged on a carpet facing a fire, okay, fireplace. And I went up to him, and we started speaking to each other, and I called him Sir, and I have no idea why. I instinctively called him Sir. He told me then, follow the stairs up to the top and go through the red door. When you go through the red door, there's a military commander at the other end of the room. And so I followed. So he was very cordial and very nice to me. I followed through into the room, met up with this man with insignias, military insignia on there. He wasn't so nice. He had a big grin on his face. And then there was another doorways, a red doorway. I go through the red doorway and then black out. Okay? The next thing I know, I'm in a military base. I can tell I'm in a military base because there's lots of people around with military garb, insignia around me. I could well have not been, but I'm going by my perception. And that was what I am assuming to be a jump room. So when I open the door, flash, amnesia, no memory, then all of a sudden I'm there. This is the first one. The second time, I was in some form of ship. I was definitely a ship, and I was out of the atmosphere, and I was moving very, very, very high pace. And then there was a screen to the right of me, and it said on the screen, 1 minute to Mars, 50 seconds to Mars, 40 seconds to Mars, 30 seconds to Mars, 20 seconds to Mars, 10 seconds to Mars, and then flash, bright flash like that, and then I'm back in the same place again. So 2 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because that was, and this was in 2008, okay? Not too long after that, a band, a musical band came out that is called 30 Seconds to Mars. And I remember distinctly seeing on this thing, it doing the countdown, and it said 30 Seconds to Mars on it. So, you know, you can play with that. And
okay, so
yeah.
what do you remember from Mars?
Not very much. Not very much. I remember being herded around with other men who looked similar to me. It seems as though all the men or young men who were there with me were all about the same dynamics, same 6'2", 190 pounds, similar build, similar hair color, similar features. We were all roughly the same sort of size.
Mm-hmm.
All men, though. All men.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I don't have lots and lots of memories of Mars. I have these.
Okay, so let's jump to some ancient topics. Anunnaki, Elohim, today. How do you perceive them? Are they still here?
They never left.
Okay.
Okay, they never left. So first of all, we're going to have to define what you think Elohim means. What are you referring to when you say Elohim?
Elohim, I think there are people like we, but they have the ability, the DNA, which allows them to survive hundreds or thousands of years.
Well, the word El, okay, so this is the truth of it. Yeah. The word El has been used and inverted throughout time. It doesn't mean fallen angel. El was always associated with God too. So they've, if you look at all of the archangels, you'll find each one of them ends in the word El, right?
Yes, in Hebrew.
Right.
Or this word also was changed as Il or Li.
Sure, reversed. Yes, yeah. That's why you have a very powerful bloodline in China, which is the Li. Li bloodline is either Li or Lee. Bruce Lee connected to this line too. They are a lot of those. Bruce Lee was an ascended master, an Orion ascended master, who came down here to teach. And who they killed.
And he lived 33 years.
No, of course. Okay, so you have the master numbers, 11, 22 and 33.
Yes.
He had achieved 33, which would be total enlightenment. So 11 is pure understanding. 22 is the master architect, the builder of all. And 33 is the combination of both of enlightenment and the ability to be a creator. 22 means architectural master. Okay, so just like detour there.
Go back to L.
L, yes. So it depends, because the Bible has been inverted and switched around, and so much. So the question is, what are they? It would depend. I mean, what are they originally? They're angelic, high vibrational, high density beings who are here for the benefit of releasing this encaged prison matrix system that is in place.
So would you say that Sitchin wrote the truth?
I've seen Sitchin at rituals, satanic rituals before. I would say that he's about 60% accurate.
60, only 60. Okay, but so it means that those.
And that's not implying that I was at those rituals, just to make sure nobody thinks that I was. Sometimes I remote view, so I look on and I'm able to see what's going on there.
But the Sumerian tablets were true. Only his translation was distorted.
Intentionally.
Yes.
Yes.
Because he cooperated with Rothschild and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He works for them, or worked for them.
Okay, let's go back to Anunnaki Elohim.
Okay, well, we did the Elohim, didn't we? What else did you want to know about the Elohim?
What is the difference between Anunnaki and Elohim?
They're not even remotely the same. There's nothing similar about them. The word Anunnaki in and of itself means people from the stars, right? So
like today we say aliens.
Right. It has become a term used for a specific type of alien, though. So you have, but this is a repeat. Like you have the Osiris, Isis, Horus story, or you have Semiramis and her son Tammuz, and Semiramis, Nimrod, and Tammuz, and Christ, or God, Christ, and Mary. These are all the trinities that are the same story, the same principle. Okay, so with the Anunnaki, you have Anu, and then you have Enki, and then you have Enlil. In my opinion, so Anu would be the overlord, the overseer, perhaps like Jehovah, would principally like Jehovah, and for him to come down and live as a physical being, he would have to. It's one of the big secrets of Freemasonry is that the father becomes the son. So let's use Egypt as an example, because it's an easy example. So the war went on between Osiris and Set.
Yes.
Okay.
Dark and light.
Yes. Yeah. Set gathered together 72 of his cohorts and betrayed Osiris and stabbed him, and then cut him up into 13 pieces and scattered them across the planet. Okay, with then Isis, with the help of a couple of others who are less important in my opinion, Isis then came, she found the pieces, but she didn't find the phallus. Okay, so she put them together, but she couldn't find the phallus. She knew that she needed to continue and propagate that bloodline because it was critical to what is happening now. If that bloodline hadn't continued, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing now. Okay? So she created, through magic, a golden phallus. Then she made love to Osiris that way. And then Horus was born.
Yes.
But the truth of that is Horus is Osiris reborn.
Okay.
Horus is Osiris. They are not separate beings. They're one and the same thing. So then the battle continued between Horus and Set, and went on and on. Set then took Horus's eye, took his eye out. So and Set, you could say Setian. The Setian consciousness is the dark, probably satanic, vampiric, parasitic consciousness that's here, right? So Set took Horus's eye. And then when you see in the entertainment industry, when you see all the time doing this, you know the reason they're doing this? The reason they're doing this is they're saying, ha ha ha, we got his eye. We took his eye. So it's mocking Horus, it's mocking the good, right? Okay. So so where are we at? So these cycles that have gone on, I could give you 10 other ones of the same principle. So the sun is born on winter solstice.
Yes.
Then he's betrayed in Ishtar in Easter.
Yes.
Okay, and then he is brought back to life. and then so the cycle is
1 year cycle.
Birth, betrayal, rebirth, birth, betrayal,
Rebirth and
death, rebirth. Yes, yeah. This is the magic of this cycle that we live in. If you can align yourself, this is why the religions do what they do, because you can align yourself with the power that goes with that. There's a lot of power to be taken from that. So when you have I'm trying to think of the royalty and the presidents and their Christianity, and they're not actually worshipping that. They're worshipping the ancient under the guise yes. of that. Well, they're worshipping Set. Yeah.
Yes. Isis and Horus is Mother Mary and Jesus.
Yes. Yes. And Set would be Lucifer. Yes. Yes.
And this one eye on the top of the pyramid.
That's his eye.
The same.
Yeah, it's also mocking.
And also, we are watching you, Big Brother.
Sure. It's like okay. It's like this. It's like they took his eye because Horus is much more powerful than all of these beings. But it's like we took his eye, we put it up there, and we're using the good, his eye, to watch you. So it's double mock, double, evil.
Okay, so who are the Anunnaki today? Because we also have the reptilian bloodlines.
The Anunnaki are partially reptilian. They're partially reptilian. They have reptilian traits. You remember, there's about 6 or 7 different reptilian species on the planet. And they're all in a caste order, and they're very, very strict caste order, and they have no problem if you do not follow a rule, or if you do not do what you are supposed to. They see all of their kind as expendable if something is not done right. And even if you do continue to do what you're supposed to do, if you have no benefit to them anymore, they will get rid of you. Prince, the death of Prince that just happened is a prime example of that. There's a big ritual this is an enormous ritual that's just happened here. On Queen Elizabeth's birthday, Prince dies, and then Victoria Wood, who is not particularly a big name, but you have Victoria in there. So you also have Victory, and you have Queen Victoria. Well, I believe Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth are the same being. Like, I believe Queen Elizabeth I and Queen Elizabeth II are the same being. So you have they are using the energy of that. Also, Prince had a lot of life force energy. So then the murder, because he was murdered, the murder of him, then putting up the Temple of Baal in Times Square and in Trafalgar Square for 3 days. So you have, and that's the Trinity. So you have Prince, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, Trinity energy, opening the Stargate. In Trafalgar Square, which is TS, and Times Square, it's to do with time travel too, Times Square. TS in basic numerology comes out to 39, T being 20 and S being 19. So 39 is, if we're going by the sun is 93 million miles away, then the inversion of if the sun is life-giving and life force energy, the inversion of that would be 39 to invert it. So you have the inversion of the sun, the gates of Baal opening. I know what they're doing because I had a dream about it as well. They've opened the gates, and they're trying to bring Baal in here, and Baal is Baal is essentially Lucifer, really. Baal is Lucifer.
And Baal was Sumerian?
Baal has gone through many different names throughout time.
Yeah,
The name Baal, is it Sumerian?
He's depicted with those fish hat,
Yes.
like the Pope has now.
Yeah. Okay, so we can go Babylonian, Sumerian. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Now, yeah. So sorry. So what they're trying to do is they have to have all these Goetian demonic entities are living disincarnate. They don't have bodies, right? They don't have bodies right now. Some of them do. Some of them do,
Okay,
but not all of them. So they need. So I believe that some of these projects were put together to create a physical body, so when the time comes that they can put this disincarnate body into the physical body.
Like one of the 42.
Possibly, I don't know. Possibly.
Okay. Let's go back to the to this world today. It seems to be some kind of opposition between the Jewish people, whatever they are, Sephardic or
The Zionists,
the others,
yeah.
the Zionists, together, and the other one was Aryans or Slavic people.
Mm-hmm.
How do you perceive this?
How do I perceive what?
This opposition.
Well,
it goes on for thousands
as it
of years.
stands, okay, I'll explain. Okay, so, but I'm not sure. I'll do my best. The Jewish race. I mean, but it's so difficult because the Jews that we know of now only go back a few thousand years. This particular line, this Jewish line, goes back 50,000 years, Atlantean time. They weren't called Jews then.
Of course.
Yeah. So whatever this line has a high reptilian DNA in it. Okay. The Aryan line. There's been for hundreds of thousands of years. These two have fought. These two
opposing.
Yes, have fought because this one particular reptilian line wants the DNA from the Aryan line, and I'm not saying that the Aryans are all good. They're plenty bad and have done plenty of atrocious things throughout time, but this reptilian line is looking for specific DNA to take from them so that they can maintain at least a half decent human looking form in 3D.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that line had Lemuria, and the Aryans had Atlantis, and Thoth or Toth ruled for 50,000 years pre the cataclysm that happened 13,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The elite, and a lot the high level Masons know a lot of this information. They know this information, and they got very upset with me speaking about it the last time I did. They got very upset with me about that. Yeah.
Okay, so
yes.
let's speak more about that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep going. I looked right in the camera before and told them about that.
So it means that those two races came from different.
Yeah. So Gaia or Earth has its own. My original form is from here, from the inner Earth.
Okay.
I'm what you would probably call an inner Earth angelic being. Is the closest. It's called a stone mite. My being is called a stone mite.
Okay, but there are many inner Earth races. Have you been there?
Yes.
In this life?
All the time.
Okay. So
I used to go to Mount Shasta all the time, and that's the female entrance to the inner Earth.
So describe it.
Well, I can't, it's in a dream state. It's in a
astral body.
I don't go like stroll there and like go down
it's
the
an
steps.
Astral body. Yeah?
There's oceans and there's forests and oceans and beaches and the fruit that is there is incomparable to anything that's here because it's so polluted. The surface is so polluted. There's pockets in the inner earth. So there's plenty of reptilian species in there as well, but they all have force fields around, so they're separated off. Yeah. So where maybe throughout my life I've had 20 different times where I've gone there astrally. They call me to go there, and then I just go there, and then they tell me things, and then they tell me things. Usually not to do so much with the war, more to do with things that happened much longer. This is relatively new. What's going on here is relatively new compared to 50 million years ago. What was going on there? You have the wars on Lyra that were 1 billion years ago. So the war that's happening now, that's connected to Mars and Earth, and this trying to put together so they have done what they're doing to this planet. They've done to multiple other planets, and they're trying to link up all of them to create one giant super prison with the Earth in the heart as the heart. Yes, in the solar system. What we're shown on paper or textbooks as our solar system looks like is not what it looks like. Yeah, we're given a lot of disinformation.
Okay, so what is your perception on this? You have Mercury, Venus.
Those planets are there. Yeah. Okay. For example, Venus is. Could I have some water? You think, please? Venus, for example, is in astrology. Let's go. Astrology I like very much and studied astrology for a long time. Is known as the planet of love, and it's associated with love and
femininity.
Yes, but first of all, let's look at the word. Okay, so you have V, which is feminine, and then you have Venus. Okay, so what you have there is an amalgamation or a mixture of male and female in one word. Okay. Venus is in fact known as the morning star because it's the star in the morning that's the brightest, right? Yes. Who's also known as the morning star?
Jesus.
That's inverted. Lucifer is known as the morning star.
Serious?
No. Lucifer is known as the morning star. Okay. Yes. How bright are you? There's. I would show you if I could put it up. I would explain it. I would show you it. Yes. So Lucifer is known as the morning star. It's funny because they interchange Jesus and Lucifer so much, and everybody gets it in their head that this is this and this is this. But then that's duality for you. This parasitic consciousness that rules here doesn't care what you buy into. It doesn't care if you buy into this religion, that religion, any religion, as long as you buy into it and as long as you put everything you've got into it, they're fine with that. Because it then maintains this dual fighting thing. Like, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, or like this. And by doing that, it maintains the dual. Everything is vibrating, right? Like vibrating like this. So to maintain a 3D vibrational state, you have to have counter. Yes, you have. Well, you have to make sure that you have black and white, and you have to have two things fighting against each other. If there weren't two things fighting against each other, this would cease to be solid anymore. It would raise its vibration, and we wouldn't be stuck here. So it's imperative for this particular consciousness to maintain war or disagreement at all times.
So that's why the Jewish people actually those headquarters, those chiefs of the Jewish people, maintain this hate against them, like they teach the children.
There you go. Exactly why.
That
Yes.
everybody around the world is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
And we need to fight anti-Semitism.
Yes. It's a very clever way, another clever way to maintain the dualistic construct here. Yes. Absolutely. In 4D, which they do actually still have they have control of, less control of it. There's no time, so there's no time in between where thought and then physical manifestation happens. So now, if I want to go get a drink of water, then I have to stand up, go there, turn the tap on, pour it in, come back, drink it. If I in 4D, I want to have the sensation of it. I manifest the sensation of it, and I have it. So I can be and do whatever I want to do there. But they do have control. Believe it or not, there's a 4D police force. There's an army and a police force there. So that you sort of don't get out of control, because the potential in 4D is, limitless. Now then you have 5D. Which is then they don't have control of completely. The 5D is the angelic realms. The perhaps you would say the archangelic realms. It's where the archangels hang out, and they come down here. Obviously, they don't. It's difficult for the archangels to be in physical bodies, because it's very restrictive for them to be there. But yes, but they do. Everybody who has been here throughout history is now incarnated here, and we're all here for the final battle now on Earth, on Heart. Everybody who's ever been here before is back now, and there is no time to fence sit anymore. You choose a side, or you sort of die. You choose this side, or you choose the dark, or you choose the light. That's that.
Final battle against
taking over the heart. If the heart is taken over, human beings are then locked down for another 50,000 years, and we have to do another 50,000 years of lifetime cycles.
Why 50? Not 26,000?
No, not 26,000. 50,000.
Okay, what is this cycle of 50?
The mathematics are not really particularly important, I don't think.
Okay. So this duality was also reinforced in the 20th century by so-called Holocaust.
Yes.
Which was organized by the Jews themselves.
Right.
Rothschild, Bauer,
right.
Bush.
Okay, the Bauer-Bush family, yes.
Okay. And yesterday you said that the Bush was the Bauer family,
yes.
But we know also that Bauer was the name of the Rothschild. So
yes.
How do you explain that?
Because they're tricksters, and a lot of the Jews that claim to be hardcore Jews are in fact Nazis.
Yes, of course. They organized everything.
I'm talking about in the media, in the mainstream entertainment industry, the ones who, some of the ones who, I'm not going to say names, the ones who claim to be hardcore Jews and who look very, very Jewish are in fact not Jewish at all. They are working on the side of the Fourth Reich.
But the Fourth Reich already exists on Mars and
sure.
in the solar system.
And they pretty much have the moon down. They have the moon under control. But
not the whole moon, because there are many other races.
Yes, but they are up there in terms of control. It's and it's not a natural satellite.
Yeah.
It's a ship. It's actually like the Death Star from Star Wars.
Okay. Have you been to the moon? Like lunar operations command.
I have been told. I have been told that I have. But I don't have full recall memory, so I don't want to say that I have, unless I definitely know and have memories of that.
What do you know about the LOC?
LOC?
Lunar Operations Command.
Nothing.
Okay. Mm. Mars. Those people on Mars.
There was a project that went on, and certain children were picked. Certain children were picked who had certain DNA, and I was connected with that. And what they did was, when we were like 5 and 6 years old, they took us there, and they trained us, and we did. We learned and we trained and we did all sorts of operations when we were there. I was with the group. There was females there this time though. It was something like 12 females and 12 males and 8 females. And then there was it wasn't negative. I don't remember it as negative. It was a lot of training. So say from 5 years old to 25 years old was spent there. And I know some of the people now who are back here. But what they did then at the end of the Mars, at the end of that thing, is they used age regression technology, brought us back to 5 years old, and then placed us exactly back to where we were. Now, when I was 5 years old, my parents moved to Los Angeles at the time, out of the blue, and I was living on Sepulveda Boulevard, and the Mars jump rooms for children were on at 999 Sepulveda Boulevard. I now know. So and I didn't know. So I had these memories before I knew that this particular information about these Mars jump rooms on Sepulveda Boulevard. Sepulveda Boulevard is in the San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles, or a suburb of Los Angeles.
So this age regression, 20 years.
Back to, and also straight back to exactly where you were taken. So like no memory whatsoever.
Like nothing happened.
Yes,
and
like
also
nothing happened.
The same, jumping back 20 years. About this talks Randy Kramer.
Yes, I didn't know that.
He was a soldier on Mars, and Corey Good also talks about.
I know Boriska because I worked with him.
This Russian boy?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. The war on Mars, thousands of years ago. Yeah. What was it about?
It's the same war that's going on now, and it's
like between reptilians and mammals.
Yeah, yeah, and never ending, because they are totally opposing genetically. You couldn't get more diametrically opposed beings. They are completely opposite, and to make things worse, this body that we have now was deemed to be the most efficient body to function on surface Earth. But what they did is they for the majority, 99%, is they gave us only two-stream DNA, reptilian and mammalian DNA, which don't fit. So that's why everybody is walking around at odds with themselves inside, because they don't go together. This was done on purpose to maintain the duality, because they don't mix. We're always walking around,
And also the aspect of male and female.
Yes.
The reptilians don't have that.
Yeah, because they did that to split. Originally, how did they procreate? The split from male to female was to give the desire of sexuality to
be complete.
Yes. Yeah. Because when a male and female get together in that way, it creates a third energy. If it's done but if it's inverted, you can create like extremely negative power. If sexuality is done with violence or anger, or it can be used very, very, very negatively. If it's done with love and compassion and kindness, it's the most powerful energy in the universe. They know this. That's why all the stuff they do is with sex magic.
Mm-hmm.
And Crowley introduced and refined sex magic in the 20th century.
And this negative sexuality is also like kind of a betrayal, which breaks the heart.
Absolutely. So each thing that they do is another offshoot of an attack on the heart. Everything they're doing is an attack on the heart. It's very calculated, it's very contrived. It's slowly sticking pins here until they take it over, which they're not going. They already lost.
Mm-hmm.
They already lost. So the storyline is over, but we're just playing it out.
So when?
I don't know times.
Did they lose? But
When
they
did
lost on Mars?
Well, first of all, if you remember, there is no such thing as time.
Okay.
So it's critical that you understand that.
Okay, they lost, so why do they still play that?
Because they like it.
Okay, they like the game.
Yes. This down here, they even call it the game.
Uh-huh.
Do you know why? Because there's nothing like pleasures of the flesh. There's nothing else there's no other incarnation in this universe where you can get the pleasures you can in. I mean, you say that people say that in these higher frequencies, the feelings that you get are bliss. But if you're in a physical 3D flesh body and you're also experiencing these things, there isn't anything comparable to it. So they like it. So what they want to do is they want to keep this body, stay in this body for eternity, and have a 1,000-year Reich that is coming up of peace,
mm-hmm.
and then start the war again, and start war again for 1,000 years, and then stop and have peace for 1,000 years, and that's how they want to do it, continually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not age, because if they age and die, then they have to then they have to face some things that they've done.
Aging is for the people, but they have technology to be young.
They have technology to regress age, yes.
I have a friend who did a lot of research about the Second World War, and he met some German ex-soldiers who now should be like 90, 100 years old.
Yes.
And when they come to Poland to visit those places, they are very strong.
50, 60,
Yes.
yeah, like Mengele, Joseph Mengele.
Mm-hmm.
He should be 120 years old now. He lives in New York, and he looks like he's 50 years old, continuing his work.
Have you seen him?
No, I don't even like thinking about him.
Okay, and
he's the one who did twinning stuff
Yes.
with me.
How do they do that? What is the technology about?
What is what?
The technology of age regression.
Oh, how does it? Well, I'm not a scientist. I would hazard a guess that the original, so your core DNA always stays the same. So it has all the imprints inside it of what you looked like when you were 10, what you looked like when you were 20. So they go inside of there, and then they attach to a particular age there, and then they manifest or create that or recreate that part. Like if you lose a limb,
Mm-hmm.
the limb isn't really gone.
Yeah, phantom.
Yes, so there's a holographic, so then they can just regrow it that way. Now they can clone. It used to take them, a day or 2 or 3 or 4 days to clone a human being. Now they can clone another being in an hour. There's many clones of me around. My girlfriend had seen multiple clones of me before in different countries. Yeah, also messing around in a hotel. When I was staying in a hotel, I had left to go and do something, and she said, she looked over and she's like, Max, she's pointing over to me, and this guy didn't turn his head round, but it was identical to me, and he slipped round there. She ran after him and looked for him. He'd gone. It's done to confuse and cause chaos. Somebody said to me the other day, weren't you in St. Louis in America like a week ago? I saw you. No, I wasn't. But this happens to me all the time.
For sure you're attacked.
Yes, very much. I have to do a lot of work to not get harmed. But also, I'm a guardian to a number of people too. So I came down here as not just that. I came down here to take care of certain people as well. I knew who they were when I've known who they've been for some time. So I know who they are and where they are and how to do it. How do I do it? It's very difficult to explain because I just know. I just know how to do it. I do a lot of visualization exercises. I do. There's my higher self who sees who has full understanding of exactly what's going on. If I just keep in touch with him. He sort of gives me the go-ahead to go this way or that way. This version, okay, so the person that you're speaking to now is my front altar. So this is the Max altar. This isn't. There are many other ones that do many other things. Multiple other ones that do many other different things.
So you mean one soul in different bodies?
No, soul. I don't know if soul is not the correct word. They call it DID, dissociative identity disorder. So it's an identity. So you could perhaps say that the altar is an individual identity, a separate identity with different abilities, different understanding, different ways of doing things. My eyes change color from one altar to another.
Soul catching, soul harvesting unit
on the moon.
Yeah. Don't go to the light.
Yes, I hear that all the time too.
Okay.
It's very difficult not to, isn't it, though?
Yeah. Yesterday you said don't go to the light.
No, it's false light. It's trick.
Okay, trick. So when someone dies and sees the tunnel,
yes,
then what to do?
Go straight to your heart. Close your eyes if you can. Or
but if you don't have the body, how can you have feelings of the heart level?
Just because you don't have physical body, you still have the understanding that you had a body. Just because somebody told me one time, death is no cure for ignorance. So just because you die doesn't mean that. That has a double meaning. The first meaning of that is if when you were alive you were doing this, that, and the other, and that wasn't so good, that doesn't mean that when you die you're all of a sudden going to be enlightened and know everything. So it's not a cure for ignorance in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, when you die, you're still very, very, very attached to the 3D world. And so, you very well still will have the feelings of a body. You may not feel the pain or any of that, but you will still have it. But the energy fields that run from here to here are still there. So you can always, the heart is sort of God source. So you can always go there.
Mm-hmm.
So you go there.
Okay. And let's go back to the duality and protection. Many people teach how to protect themselves from outside attacks. But when you have the idea of protection, it means that you have external enemy. It's like duality. It's also creating opposition. So isn't it better to have the idea of unity?
Okay, I'm not quite sure you understand the question. Can you ask me again, please?
Yeah, some people are attacked and the others are not attacked.
Uh-huh.
And those
who is not attacked? Everybody is attacked.
Everybody.
Yeah. It's a war on the human heart, on the human being, so everybody's attacked.
But if someone is in his or her heart totally, like enlightened being...
There isn't one.
No?
No.
So everybody has to protect.
Yes. Yeah.
Even after leaving the body?
When? At what point? Give me an example of when you're leaving the body.
When you...
You mean death?
Death, yeah.
Okay. Death, death is what?
Transition to another dimension.
Yeah. So you're transitioning to. Do you think that the dimension that you transition to is all love, light, and free, and happiness?
Depending on who you are.
No. It isn't. No. The war continues there too. 3D is anchoring down the rest, and until it is dealt with here, and until this is fixed, it's causing trouble for the other higher frequencies too. That's why the higher vibrational beings are incarnating down here to help, because it's been going on too long now. It's really been going on so long that and you know, people are not realizing it's so in your face. It's so clearly in your face, and that people are still not realizing that it's going on. That pedophilia is becoming acceptable on television. That they're inverting sexuality. That they're emasculating men. That they're masculizing females. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious. And it disgusts me that people are still not paying attention to it.
It's kind of boring that this nonsense prevails.
Yes.
And also...
I think boring is a very lightweight term for what I feel.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say that knowing all this, I decide I quit from this game. I want to leave this game.
You can't.
So, who decides if I can leave it or not? Don't I have free will?
No. You have the illusion of free will. They made you think you have it, but you don't.
But this planet is the planet of free will.
No, it's not.
No?
No.
What about those enlightened masters? Haven't they...
The enlightened masters you're talking about, like the yogis, etc., just have... they serve. So they're here helping others who are still watching soap operas on television and eating cheeseburgers. So they're here to help them. They have a mastery of the 4D, so they can do a lot of work in 4D. But they are far from able to leave. Excuse me. They're far from being able to leave, because you can't leave until this is fixed.
How would you describe the solution for this game to be finished? The game goes on.
Well, it has been going on because we're stuck in a time loop, and we're looping over and over again. And I said before, and I said in the speech, that there's a window opening that's now. And so we have an opportunity to break out of it. We have an opportunity now. This is a repeat of what happened 13,000 years ago, yes, when we lost in Atlantis. And then a lot of the priests, I was part of the priesthood then, although I was working also with this to find out what was going on with the scientists, and then bringing back information to the priesthoods so we could find out what they were doing. But when the cataclysm happened 13,000 years ago, my group went underground and went into the inner earth, and we stayed there for a very long time, and then we came out again in Egyptian times, and then I was who I was in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
I remember multiple lifetimes that I've had.
Okay, so you said we have the opportunity now.
Yeah.
What should we do to fulfill this opportunity, not to waste?
What we do is what we're doing. Speaking, doing conferences, but we need a television outlet. I need to get onto so that it can get out to a bigger audience, because I know that the people who are drawn to listen to what I'm saying are the ones who were doing this work back then as
Mm-hmm.
well, and they'll remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember, they have also encoded into their DNA, implants in their DNA to wake them up at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
So that through phonetics, sounds in my voice and in others' voices too will then spark that to wake up, so then they know what to do, because there's no time left. This year is the year they're going to bring out this particular being. They've already done it.
You mean Lucifer?
You can use that word.
Okay, what for? To continue the cycle?
To rule.
To have the fascist system?
No, not fascist. No. It's sort of more of like an anarchistic, debauched, vile system.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to destroy the temple in Jerusalem, rebuild it, and he will sit on the throne there.
And for the New World Order?
Yes. Laughing that he has Horus's eye.
Uh-huh. This year?
The preparation is happening this year. It's happening.
Okay, this year, June, in Poland, there will be the biggest military training exercise.
Wonder why?
And parallelly, in France, we'll have soccer games. You know, France, a lot of Islamists.
Why? Is it Euro?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Euro 2016?
Yes.
Oh, it's here.
Yeah.
They're holding it here?
In France.
Okay. Very interesting.
And the same, and parallelly, huge military exercise.
Remember, like the World Cup and the Euro Cup, they're all big harvesting exercises.
Uh-huh.
All sport is fixed.
Yeah.
Every single sport is fixed, on every level. They would never allow it to be, because they are fear-based, parasitic mentality. They will not allow two teams or two people or two fighters to go at it unless they control both of them, under any circumstance.
Okay, and you mentioned the word implants. If someone has implants, how can they remove it?
I don't know.
Is there any way to?
Yeah, there's different people. There's different. I'm gonna take my jacket off. Sorry. There's different people who have those abilities to do that type of thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, are you asking me to give you names or?
No, let's say someone has implants in the brain.
Right.
How can this person deactivate or remove it completely?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
That you'd have to go to somebody who knows what they're doing. I don't do that. You know, I don't. I know people who have done it, and I've had work done on me. I had a lot of heart damage done to me throughout this life, and so I had some amazing help in 2010 that saved me, basically saved my life, because they knew that this person knew that what I was going to be doing now. So he helped me. he gave me another heart. I have two hearts.
And maybe last question: what happened that you woke up and realized that?
Okay, I always knew. I always sort of knew, even when I was little. I always knew because strange things were always happening to me, and I always, just from the beginning, I would be in strange laboratories with people with lab coats asking me to do tests. Do this, do this, do this, do this. I've had experiences with doing with. They use me as a breeder to breed, to create children, and then they would have me play with the children so that the children would become more human. Because if they're always brought up with sentient, non-emotional entities, they won't be able to fit into society. So that they would take me. What could you understand?
So the mothers were not human.
The mothers weren't even. They were created. So the sperm and the ovum were put together and then built, like building blocks. No mother. With me?
Kind of.
Oh, which part don't you understand? You can build a child without a mother.
Just synthetic.
Well, yes, semi-synthetic, because it's still sperm and egg. So there's
and the fluid, the proper.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes the mother is used to nurture, and sometimes the father. They try out every different type of possible one to see what they can do. I can only speak from my experience, and so for me, I had one particular one was a little Asian boy, and I spent a number of years going to see him and teaching him telekinetic abilities. I would move blocks into different shapes, and then he would look and smile at me and then copy me. And so that we would do hours and hours and hours and hours like that. Then they would take me in a lot of laboratory work, lots of lab work, hooking me up to things, and testing. I don't know if it's IQ. I don't know. I know that they do IQ tests, but IQ is so nothing really. Intelligent quotient means very little. But they did that, and they do other tests as well. And so then they would give me they would explain to me what they meant and why they did that, and what the results were, and why they needed to use me, and because I have a creator energy, I have a creator specific gene inside of me which allows me to create physical reality very fast. So they hijacked a lot of my abilities and made me build things that I didn't want to do, that I didn't want to build.
How do you mentally move things?
How do you do it?
Yeah.
You would connect with the energetic signature of with the thing itself, and then you would do it that way.
So also you can kill people.
Yes.
From distance this way.
Yes.
Just doing something inside the body.
Yes. Yes.
Some of the super soldiers are specialists.
Well, they try and do it to me all the time. They try and raise my heartbeat up, try and give me a heart attack all the time, and they try and do black magic on me all the time. It's funny, really, because the cheap ones that try and do it think that they have these, but they do voodoo. They make voodoo dolls too, and they try and pull pins from voodoo dolls, and they're so low down. They're so low down. They think that they're like a lot more powerful than they are. And if somebody tries to do black magic on me, I get images in my head with it hours beforehand. So I'm shown that it's going to happen. So I immediately defend the parts of my body or anything.
Do you send it back to them?
I mirror it. I mirror it back to them. I could 7 times it, and but I don't do that because that then carries consequences and karma, and I don't need any more of that.
Okay, so if someone was attacked by voodoo,
some people like to use crystals to try and harm, and which is just evil, because crystals are creative
entities.
Yeah. And it's those types that are the lower sort of vibrational beings who they're sort of like fleas. You know what I mean? Get off. Yeah.
If someone has a doll for attacking,
like a voodoo doll.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw one. Somebody built one the other day to do to me.
Okay. How do
I saw them build it.
How to
neutralize it?
Yes.
You throw. There's a number. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but
one of them.
One of them. I would just put. I would put a field. I would put a field around the doll itself, the poorly made doll itself, and then I would put a mirror around the face of the person doing it, so they would have to look at their face, and then that would frighten them. But they don't like to see themselves because they're very insecure. These people who do this are very insecure. They don't like themselves.
Uh-huh.
They don't like themselves. They don't really like to even see themselves.
Uh-huh.
They're like the old hags from in Snow White. They come first of all. They look and yeah.
Uh-huh. And isn't it better to exchange the personal signature of the doll, like someone attacks you, with the person who attacks?
Oh, I did that too.
Okay, so it's one of your secrets.
It's not a secret now.
Yeah, it's also my invention.
That was perfect. What you do is you just change. So then they try and make a doll that looks like it's so cheap, though. It's so cheap. Like oh my no, it could work on somebody who doesn't really know about these things. But this is old world stuff. I'm now dealing with advanced stuff, new, like much more advanced. Okay, you don't have to do ritual and ceremony to do magic or creation at all. You can create here, right now, instantly, immediately, this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So why do they still do those stupid rituals?
Because they're stuck in that. It's an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
They're addicted to the old world.
Oh, stupid.
Yeah, very stupid. Yeah, very stupid. They're gonna get theirs. They're gonna get theirs.
Okay.
I promise.
You are tired, so let's finish at this point. Maybe you would like to say some conclusion.
Yes. Okay. I would like to thank some amazing people who've come into my life who have. Am I looking into this camera?
Yes.
I would like to thank some amazing people who. I'm gonna put my jacket on again. Sorry, I get cold, and then I'll say thank you. I would like to thank the people that have come into my life over the last 5 years, who have stood by me, who have loved me, who have loved me even though I've been a pain in the ass sometimes, and helped me through my difficulties, because along that come with the trauma that comes along with all that stuff, I didn't have a chance, but I would like to at some point address addiction and trauma-based mind control, because they are synonymous. They do go hand in hand. Schizophrenia, addiction, and mind control all go together, and this is something that needs to be talked about, because people are ostracized for those things, and this needs to be talked about. And so I would like to thank my dear partner who had put up with all of my stuff for 6 years. Sarah Adams. I would like to thank Madeline, who has also helped me out and stood by me. I would like to thank Danusha, who has also put up with me and supported me and been very kind to me. I would like to thank Sylvia. I would like to thank my mother, and I would like to thank all the wonderful people who are standing, and you, sir, as well, for interviewing me and giving me this experience. And I'm sure I've forgotten some people, but these people just sprung to mind. I especially want to thank, like I said initially, Sarah Adams, who was my partner, who put up with a lot from me. Thank you very much, and wonderful to meet you.
Thank you. You are wonderful.
Thank you. I'll keep telling you the truth. I'm always going to do that.
Thank you.